Cannonball.
Yeah, yeah. Now, and this is an absolute perfect example of metastasis. Careful, of metastasis.
First day.
Would you say the nodules seem to be clustered more in one, yeah, let me turn this off, in one particular area of the lung? You can turn that one off.
Periphery.
Yeah, they're more out in the periphery, aren't they? That's typical, especially of these cannonball, and even those ones over there were more out away, because are we gonna trap them in big vessels in close here? No, you got big volume pipes, high speed, they're really zinging through there, and we slow it all down and spread it all out through the capillaries and then run it all down into single file. So the nodules are generally out in the peripheral. They're out in the peripheral part of the lung. So they've got to either get high in number, like that one was, or they've got to get large in size before they start producing symptoms. Because it's really just mechanical displacement of air volume is usually where the symptoms come. People that have metastasis in the lung, it's dyspnea. Difficulty breathing is the first symptom they have because they're displacing air volume. You just take and push these tumors all down into one place and think, well, how much lung did they displace? That's why they have difficulty breathing. And it's going to be worse with exertion, isn't it? It's going to get worse when they exert. Yeah. Now, here's a good example of when they don't have metastasis and when they do have metastasis. And although METS is a classic cause, it's not the only one that causes multiple centimeter nodules. Even sarcoid that we talked about can cause multiple centimeter nodules. It's not a common way for it to present. Rheumatoid can cause multiple centimeter nodules. Rheumatoid lung disease. Wegener's can cause multiple granulomatous nodules. So it's not a pathognomonic appearance for metastasis, but it's a classic. It's a very, very common presentation for metastatic disease. But what type? Hematogenous. Hematogenous. Now you can also metastasize lymphogenously. And cancer cells can go in either direction through the lymphatic system. They can antigrade, which is going with the flow. They can or retrograde, they can go against the flow. And the lung is also a common place for lymph metastasis. But lymph mets does not produce nodules. What lymph mets does is causes pulmonary edema. Because if you had, all these lymph nodes, and remember what those lymph nodes are doing, they're all part of the big orange system, aren't they? So if we clog up a bunch of lymph nodes in here with cancer cells, what's it going to do to the ability of all the little sewer systems, all the little sewage treatment plants, which is what lymph nodes are? Is it going to reduce their ability to drain the lung of the plasma fluid? So it's going to start backing the plasma fluid up because the capillaries are leaking, but the cancer cells are slowing down the lymph system. And so the patient starts thickening the interstitium with plasma fluid. They get pulmonary edema, but they get lymph absorption pulmonary edema. The leakage rate's normal, but the lymph absorption is slowed down. And so they start having dyspnea also, but for a very different reason. They get it because they're thickening the interstitium with plasma fluid. Would they get curly lines with lymph mets? Yes. Yes, they do. They classically do, and we'll look at some really good examples in class. So that's a beautiful example. This was from colon. This was colon mets to the lung.